Hello, all my YouTube friends. I will do a channel message with the Arcturians for you, for us today. And first, I will talk about some things that has been coming up lately for many, in my experience. And that is the letting go of the story to become more of you. And what that really means when we say letting go of the story, because what I've seen is that we, or many of us, have not fully realized what the story actually means, how much of our lives we have actually created based on a story about who we are, what we can and what we cannot do. And that is something I see that everyone is being invited to right now here on planet Earth, and many does not see this as an opportunity because they're not really connected to that higher truth. Yet many of us, who are the ones I mostly connect with, are seeing this, are seeing that this is the opportunity to let the story go. But when we don't know how much of our lives that is really a story, then it can be scary to let the story go, because we think that we will be punished in some way, because a part of us still believe in a part of the story. So we want to let the story go, yet we still believe in the story, that if we don't play it out, there will happen something bad to us. And that is really common, because that is that is how the whole story is maintaining itself, is by fear. So most of our stories are based on fear, either be fear of being punished, as I said before, fear of dying, fear of being what's it called, to be isolated from your group, and different ways of being, what you can say, reduced in life possibilities. So that is really in us all, that we really strive towards being a part of the group. We strive for success in the way of surviving, really. And the truth of it is, actually, when we let the whole story go, we will realize that we are safe at all times, that we will always be looked after by our higher self, by the universe. And the reason why we don't see this is because we believe in a story that we are not. And I don't know how many of you can raise their hand and say they could let everything in their life go now and would feel completely safe, and would feel that they would just have what they need whenever they need it. But that is what we are being invited into, and I feel this more and more in myself. I can really feel this greater truth in my own life, that this feeling of being safe no matter what is really present most of the time right now. But it's definitely a new thing. When I tried to leave some beliefs behind only half a year ago, I think, I was not ready to let it to completely step out of the illusion. And I knew that, and I acknowledged that, and I realized that this was not the time to leave it completely. Yet I could feel that step I had made towards it was already grounding me further into the human experience and into feeling safe at all times. So that is also what's happening. When we let the story go, we're not leaving the human experience. We're actually entering even more into the truth of it, and into the truth of us being a source and God here on earth, all of us, that everything is, and everything is perfect. So not like many might think that, okay, so if we tap into more and more of this God experience, then we will become more and more like celestial beings, like we will leave the earth. It's not necessarily like that. A part of us is that. A part of us is multidimensional, or we are multidimensional beings. So a part of us will always have another experience in higher layers of reality, higher layers of consciousness. But this part of us is continuing to be human, at least for now. at least for now. We'll see. Higher aspects of us are in other realities. So we know that it's a progression in that sense, knowing that time does not exist. So really understanding this completely is not for us to grasp right now as human beings. So, but now I will pass the words over to the Arcturians and let them come through with a message for all of us. So I will just close my eyes and you are invited to do the same, and we will see what they have for us today. You can maybe start out by taking a few deep breaths together with me. And I will just let them come through. Yes. Hello and welcome to this transmissions. We are the Arcturians and we are here to deliver a message for all of you today about how it is to be human when you are no longer believing in the lack, the limitations, believing that you're not worthy of this experience as Source, as God on planet Earth now. So you have all been a part of this human experience since you were born. It actually does not have to be this way, and you don't know that yet, and you will realize that much later in the human experience, in the human experiment, when it's progressing into later states, that it doesn't have to be that way, that you enter as a baby, yet that is how it is right now on planet Earth. And knowing that you are now in a phase where the consciousness expands so fast and beyond anything you've ever imagined. So you have been locked very much into these beliefs about what is possible for you as human beings. And that goes from the physical, what is possible for the human body, how does it work? You enter as a baby through a portal, through a mother who give birth to you, and then you grow up and then you become often something very similar to what your parents were in one way or another. You might not choose the same job, but you often share the same beliefs about what's possible for you, and you've been struggling against these beliefs because you can feel they do not fit you, they're limiting you, and yet it has been so difficult to come up with something else. What else is there for me? Because then you look around and you see very similar beliefs, because that is what you have drawn into your experience here on Earth. By having those beliefs, you have drawn people with similar beliefs into your experience. So there you have kept yourself in this limited reality, this isolated feeling of this is how it is, and I cannot change this unless I do something drastically, unless I heal myself. And that is the way you have been raising your vibration through times into now a higher state of being. And from there is another way. And from the higher state of vibration, there is another way for you forward. And that is not to keep on fixing what is broken, because you are not broken. You are whole and complete as you are. You have just forgotten this. So from now on and forward, you can lean into the knowing that you are a part of Source. You are a part of God. You are God here on Earth in human form. God has many forms. God has a form you see all around you. Everything is God. And now you know this. Now you know that you are Source and God, and that God is always perfect. So the only time that God does not act as something perfect is when God has forgotten, and that is you playing that game out, and that is supposed to be a joy for you. Yet, of course, it is not when you have forgotten. And we know that. We know that it is not easy when you are in lower stages of consciousness, yet now you are about to have another experience for you. So remember who you are God and you are source, and you're here to have an experience now as God on earth, as creator of your own reality. And that is the way out of the programs that you have experienced until now. So glorious future for you is waiting, and you can now just know that. Just know that. You might not remember it all the time. You might sometimes forget and think you're back in this experience of playing out victim drama and playing out these ways of not being able to, being limited by others. Yet you are now entering the phase where you realize that is you who are creating these dramas, not set in a judgmental ways. You can see it as a theater, you can see it as a play, as a movie, and you can also see it as something that you have created out of joy, out of wanting to explore reality in human form. So that is really why you are here, to explore and to create different types of reality, to understand what is it like to be human, what is it like to have forgotten, and how will I remember again, because that is really exciting, that is really interesting for you to start to remember. That part of the journey has not been experienced by you before, has not been experienced by many on earth before. So that part is the great part. That's what we call the great human awakening. And you are in the front lines, and that is so great, because then you will just get to experience every bit and part of it on the way to realizing who you really are, and how easily you can create a reality that is expanding, that is expanded outside the limited programming. But now find joy in exploring how to leave the human programming, how to leave the human density, not the density, human limitations, the limited beliefs that you are experiencing. Find joy and excitement in that you have chosen this, that you are one of those who are finding this exciting and finding the exciting new ways of experiencing human lives. Find pride in it. You are one of those who have chosen this, and many others have chosen the same. But it is important to understand that when you find the pride, the joy, and see the service of just the experience, not service in a way of being enslaved or servant, or this is your job in a heavy way, but being the instrument of God, that you are God, that this is your creation and this is exciting for you. That what you're doing has a meaning, has just as much meaning as anything that you are producing or creating to others. Just your experience has just as much meaning as that. Okay, so these were our words. Now we will go over to a more energetic part of it, because we realize for many of you, you have these parts of your experience where it's difficult to shift into this understanding. It's difficult to shift your perspective into seeing yourself as more than just playing out a limiting belief. So allow yourself to just sink into your body, connect to your heart. And allow us into your experience. And you do this by saying that you allow us to assist you in remembering who you really are and what you're capable of here on earth in this lifetime. And then you might feel some physical sensation like pressure, expansion, tingling. and allow it. And just know that it is perfect right now for you to experience this. That you're one of those who find joy in exploring and expanding human potential on Earth in these times. Let yourself be the beacon of light that you are. Let yourself be powerful, a powerful creator of your own experience on Earth. Allow yourself all the memories you have without any judgment of it being right or wrong. Just know that it's all perfect part of your exploration on Earth. That all is going to change now into a new phase of exploration, allowing yourself to see yourself as the light that you are here to be on Earth in these times. So allow yourself this experience now, remembering who you are. Allow the light to enter. The light is yours. Light has always been yours. And it is now for you to walk the earth more light and knowing that you love perfect creation, God, creator of your own reality in form and in formless. Now allow yourself to become more and more you, all that you are meant to be in these times on planet Earth. You are capable of extraordinary things. You are capable of creating a whole new world. And that is why you're here, to experience this new creation of human reality on Earth. How is this gonna look like? Well, that is to be revealed to you when you experience it. That's how you chosen it to be, because you love the excitement, you love the exploration and the surprises. For you, the magical surprises that is going to be showing up for you if you allow them to enter your life, knowing that you are God and Source. You are so much more than you have ever imagined. You're capable of so much more than you have ever been able to imagine from the limited version of you. Now open up to more of you, and with that, open up to new potentials for you. Take a few deep breaths. And we're just going to end this transmission here and say, I love you so much, all of you. We hold so much love for you. Many blessings and bye for now.